There it goes, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We are at Vet Lab and we are dropping off my new ported and built blower by Joker's Performance to get installed on the GT500. And I also went ahead and got a new filter. Look at this one, because this one is absolutely trash. All right, guys, so we dropped off the blower. I don't know when it's getting installed, maybe in a few hours, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go get food and I think I'm gonna come back for the installation. So here's what I ended up getting. This is a wrap. It has chicken, it has tomatoes, has a bunch of stuff, and I also got a mango smoothie with protein. So now let's try it. All right, let's not do that. I'm about to go eat this before I drop my food and, you know, not eat anything. All right, we're back to the GT500 and the blower is in there. It's not bolted on just yet, but look how good it looks in there. Wow, wow, wow. Literally, paint matches with the color of the car. So that has to get bolted on. The intake has to get put back on. Like I said, I have a new filter for that. So that's all gonna happen. So I also found this intake online and it's supposed to give you 40 wheel horsepower. Like I told you guys, I was trying to get the JLT intake, but that's been on back order and it's been on back order for months. So I don't know when it's ever gonna come back. And well, until then, I think I'm gonna go with this one. So we just put the fuel rails in. We got one right here and then we got another one right here. So it has 4 injectors on each side. And speaking of injectors, we also have to upgrade those because we're gonna be going on E85 soon. So we're also installing the new filter. Check this out. So that's the old one, that's the new one. Wow, this one is going straight in the garbage. And now we're gonna install that, but like I said, that's not gonna stay on there for much longer since I'm ordering a new one tonight. So we got the intake in there and everything else here is done. Now we gotta just put back the battery, and now the bar got put in there. So last but not least, the windshield wipers gotta go on. And unfortunately, there's still snow on the ground, so that means we won't be able to race anytime soon. Now this comes off. Alrighty, now it's time to fire it up. Are you ready? Alright. Ooh, look at this little base model Mustang up here. Alright, we got a couple lights. Hill start assist, service. Oh my god, there's a lot of lights coming up here. Looks like a Christmas tree. Every light. What the heck? Yeah, there's a lot of lights coming on. I think it's just because we took everything apart. I think they're gonna come off, but we'll see. All right, guys, so I think I figured, well, I didn't figure it out. The guy that works here told me that my car was on the dyno before we took the supercharger out. They just wanted to run it and get some base numbers before we put it back on with the ported blower. So that's why those lights are on. So we're good, not a big issue. And yeah, we're gonna throw it on the dyno. But before that, let me just show you guys how it looks. Wow, wow, wow. That is so beautiful. Look at that. Wow. This is the first time I've ever had a painted blower. All the other ones, I just kind of left them factory color. This is the first time I actually painted it, and it looks really, really good. And if you guys are wondering, I know I said it a few times, it is the same color as the car. Just look at this. Wow. But now it's time to throw this thing on the dyno. All right, guys, we're in here, and let's turn her on, and let's get down. Alrighty, we got her up on the dyno. So we gotta warm her up a little bit before we start doing pulls. And before I show you guys today's pulls, I'm gonna show you guys the pulls we did when the car was stock. And I'm gonna show you guys the numbers that the car made when it was completely stock. And then we're gonna compare it to today's numbers. Let's see. So that one was 690. What? 4th gear? What happened? It picked up horsepower with the stock intake. How much more? Like 40. Really? So that was 4th gear? So 694 with the stock intake. So now that you guys seen the stock numbers, keep those in mind, and now we're gonna run the car and see what it made with a ported blower. Alrighty, let's see. Where do I look? All right, let's see where it is. So that one made 742 power and 609 torque. Let's see what it made. So that one made 753 power and 605 torque. So those were some pretty impressive numbers, but now we're gonna let it cool down and then go for a 3rd run.
A few moments later.
Let's see what it made. 759, and torque, it made quite a lot of torque. 626. Is that normal? The torque?
Go back here and see.
It made 20 more than the last one. We're gonna do one more?
Yeah.
See what it made. Woo! 774 and 623 torque. That is insane. Those are the numbers we were looking for.
That's exactly it.
Wow. Wow, that's good. That is wow. Yeah. Because we did cool the car down, and obviously you've seen it had a lot more power in it once we cooled it down, and I'm gonna show you guys what we used to cool it down. We got a fan here, and that pretty much cools the car down. Obviously the car has some fans too, but 774. If you guys remember, the car made 695 before, so it gained, how much is that? That's like, yeah, that's about 80 wheel horsepower with a ported blower. Like, wow. So here's the before and after graph. So the solid line is the ported blower, and the dotted one is when it was stock. The red is the horsepower, and then the blue is the torque. So look at the difference in between the before and after on the horsepower. Look at that. Look at that gain. And then even on the torque, even from 3,000 RPMs, it already is making more, and more. Look at that. And by the way, you guys see this little dip? That's literally from the factory. I think they probably thought that maybe the car would cause something to go wrong at that point, where it maybe knocked or something, so they kind of detuned it right there, if you see that dip right here. But then it just keeps going and going and going and going. So the car made really solid numbers for only having a ported blower. No tune, no aftermarket intake, no pulleys, nothing. All it is this Joker's Performance blower. Look at that. This right here gave it about 80 wheel horsepower. So shout out to Brett from Joker's Performance. If you guys have a GT500, if you guys have a Hellcat, whatever, anything with a supercharger and you want some awesome port job that will give you amazing organic power like what you guys just seen with the GT500, you gotta check out Joker's Performance. I'm gonna leave their Instagram right here, and also make sure to check out Vet Lab. That's who does all my installations. That's who does my dynos. Shout out to them as well. Make sure you guys go follow them on Instagram as well. It did really well today, man. It really did well. Proud of this girl. Look at that. There's literally snow outside. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to see some snow today. There isn't much snow on the road, but there's snow in this parking lot, and that brings us to the end of today's video.